Bulletcast. For life.
Doggy Charles. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. The microphone messiah. Yeah. It's the microphone messiah. And Mr. No Days Off. Microphone messiah. Mr. No Days Off. Phil, Brandon, what's good, y'all? Let's go. Bullet Cast host. Look, this is the time for us to be great.
Yo, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? You know the name, you know the voice, you know exactly why I'm here. The microphone messiah, Phillip Brandon, joined by the Canadian destroyer, BT, Brandon Tan Guma. Brandon, back from your excursion to the great not the great white north, because you would never go there, but you were up north. How do you feel? How was the trip?
It was fine. Up north, up in the 64th biggest market in the United States here in Spokane, Washington. I'm back here in the Bay, as I should be, here to talk some wrestling.
I mean, what'd you do up there? How was the weather, man?
It was hot. I don't know if I talked about it on this podcast, but I feel like, here in the Bay Area, the summer hasn't been that bad. We've only had like a few really hot days, but up there, it's a little more humid, a little more muggy. But weather was fine. It was just a balmy, upper 70s, low 80s. Didn't do too much. I mean, we'll get the full breakdown over curveballs and chair shots, but didn't do anything super crazy. I mean, there's really nothing really to. Let's be honest, there ain't much to do in Spokane, Washington.
Oh, you hit up a bar? What'd you do, man?
Went to the Spokane Indians game, if we're allowed to say Indians anymore, but that's the name of their team, guys. I know Cleveland may have changed the name, but Spokane didn't. They ain't backing down to cancel culture. So there you go.
Oh boy.
Went to the North Idaho State Fair, and I had to try the alleged best garlic fries ever. As someone from the Bay Area, we pride ourselves here in Northern California with our garlic fries. I can attest maybe they're the best garlic fries ever in Northern Idaho, but not in the world, because it was just a bunch of garlic with some lemon pepper seasoning fries. The fries themselves weren't even that good, let alone the garlic aspect of them.
Yeah, have we ever prided ourselves on garlic fries? I know carne asada fries or something. Have we prided ourselves on garlic fries?
Well, Philip, I know you're not the baseball guy, but the San Francisco Giants, they arguably have the best garlic fries in the world, and we only are a short drive away from we are only a short drive away from Gilroy, the garlic capital of the world.
So you talking about the stadium has the garlic fries worth $45?
I mean, they're not $45. They're probably
$25.
$25. I haven't been to a San Francisco Giants game in quite some time. But
just fries?
I mean, it's probably let's be honest, probably $18.
Bro,
if I were to make a guess, we're to Price is Right this thing.
Yeah, it's probably $8. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, I don't know. With the prices of tickets going up, you think they can we can get a little meal deal?
Well, there are stadiums. Different places have cheaper eats.
I don't know, man.
I know the Atlanta Falcons, they have cheap deals. The Baltimore Orioles, well, that young core ain't working out so well. But there are stadiums who are trying to reel it back, and because the old adage is teams don't really own baseball teams, they own restaurants, because that's a lot where the money is when the stadiums with all the foods and all that stuff. That's where the real money maker is.
A sandwich is $18. Fries are $7. You got to get a drink. That's another $12. I'll pay $20 if I can get a burger, fries, and a drink. I'll do that.
I mean, even when I said I went to the Spokane Indians game, which is a minor league ballpark, they were selling stuff for still a little cheaper than the major league venues are. But I mean, I spent $15 on some chicken strips, which, chicken strips themselves, I mean, the fries and chicken strips were better than the garlic fries I had. But
it came with fries.
Mm-hmm.
See, out here, you just pay $17 for just chicken strips, and that's it. No, you have to pay more for fries. So okay.
How much was beer? I think beer was $12.
Yeah, out here is 18.
Shout out the Northern Idaho State Fair, they were selling 12-ounce beer cans for $6, which is still kind of outrageous, but still not bad for you know.
For
I mean,
those at
I don't
home.
even want to know what the beer price would be at the Alameda County Fair, but shout out the Alameda County Fair. We take things from granted down here because the Alameda County Fair is a big old deal and it's huge. I went to the Northern Idaho State Fair. It was like 25% of the Alameda County Fair in terms of size.
Jesus Christ. Well, there's your Idaho,
Phil, have you
Washington.
ever been to Idaho? I know
Idaho.
you've traveled the world.
Yeah, I here. Let's find.
Philip has more of the South covered compared to me.
Yeah, I have like 10 more states to hit, then I'll hit all 50. Ma, I ever been to Idaho? Okay, yeah, passing through on the train. I've been to Idaho. My mom just confirmed.
There you go.
Boom. So Idaho's taken care of. Shout out Davenport. Yeah. That's Iowa, isn't it? Davenport, Iowa, not
Well,
Idaho.
there is a Davenport, Washington, I do believe, because I did the same bit when we were driving from Idaho and Washington, and there was a Davenport on the exit, and I believe
Boise,
it's
Idaho.
Washington.
Shout out Boise.
Let's see.
Man. Um
Nope. That's I don't know. That's in
well
Washington.
other than that,
It's Washington. Davenport is in Washington, not Idaho. Can't confirm.
big wrestling news. It was a slow news week last week. We're picking it back up. WWE PLEs will be moving to ESPN sooner rather than later. September 20th, it has been announced. WrestlePalooza, reviving an old ECW IP name. That is going to be the first WWE PLE on ESPN, September 20th, WrestlePalooza. Rumors were going around that it might be over the limit or this and that, bad blood possibly, but no. We're in Indianapolis. We're getting WrestlePalooza. Clash in Paris will be the final WWE main roster PLE on Peacock. The NXT PLEs will remain on Peacock. I believe I just saw a report that Peacock may be also getting another WWE program. And also, Saturday night's main event will no longer be on NBC. That will be strictly on Peacock. So what are your thoughts on all this?
I mean, it's a pretty big deal. I mean, we talked about the huge ESPN WWE merger a couple weeks ago. We all kind of just speculated that because the original Peacock deal ended up in early 26, that it was going to be, WrestleMania will be the first big show for ESPN, and that would make a lot of sense. But now looking back, it seems as though it was a date deal or an event type deal. And with the added number of 2-night shows of WrestleMania, SummerSlam, some last minute added shows like Evolution.
They hit their quota.
They hit their number, and I guess that means contractually they are not obligated to run any more shows on Peacock, and so now they're moving over to ESPN. Glad I got that VPN, so now you can still watch it internationally on
So
Netflix.
you're
I don't
gonna
know. I don't know exactly how the Peacock ones are going to go because I would assume that's just going to be the same thing of they'll be internationally on Netflix as well.
So you're gonna have to explain the VPN. So you did like the one time fee is like 100 something, right, for the year.
And it's for 2 years.
Or it's 100 and something for 2 years.
It's like $3 a month.
Okay, so but they have the option for the flat rate for like you pay this and you don't have to pay again for 2 years.
Yep.
Okay, so there's that, and then you still have to pay for ESPN separately, correct?
If you want to.
Yeah.
But I ain't gonna pay for ESPN. Now, the whole thing is that YouTube TV is not a part of the ESPN deal right now. I have full confidence that this is just a way for ESPN to get more money out of YouTube. And eventually, and reports are saying that they're going to try to get this deal done before WrestleMania, that YouTube TV will be a part of the ESPN. I don't even know it's just the ESPN app. It's very confusing, like branding wise, because it's just ESPN, but there's still ESPN on your television.
Okay. Also, I mean, you have the VPN, so you just switch to wherever, and then you can just watch it on Netflix.
Yes.
So the VPN, does it work on your phone and laptop or TV or what?
It works on everything. I have it on my phone. I have it on my laptop right now. I have it on my Fire Stick.
Okay. I have like a Roku TV, so I can do it like that.
I mean, I would assume they have a Roku app. I didn't look into it.
Okay. You're gonna have to show me these details, man. Because I mean, for the people that are still trying to save a pretty penny, I did some digging, I did some math. I looked at, I went on my Hulu, looked at the different subscriptions. Guys, you can get Hulu, you can get ESPN and Disney all for $26.99. 3 platforms, 3 streaming services for $26.99. So I mean, boom, you're getting 3-in-1. You're saving a couple dollars. I did some digging. I looked at all the platforms I have. If I were to do the 3-in-1, Brandon, I'm saving like $35 a month.
Or you get the VPN, you go overseas, and you can get Disney Plus that basically has Hulu on Disney Plus. But it's not technically Disney Plus. It's not Hulu. It's like called Stars or something. I don't know. It's whatever the British people are
So
doing.
if I get the VPN, then I just automatically get Hulu.
Well, it's not Hulu. It's a different thing because
Different.
like it's a whole thing because I haven't really fully explained or explored the Disney Plus aspect of it. But over in the UK, they have like the Hulu shows on Disney Plus
Mm.
itself, not Hulu because I don't have Hulu. Well, I do have Hulu, but my brother has Hulu. I don't sign into it. It's a whole thing. Yeah.
Okay,
Anyways,
So NordVPN, you pay the 100 or whatever. It's for 2 years.
yep, and go find yourself an affiliate link because you get extra discounts. I use my boy Philip Franco. So no free ads, but if you want to go to nord.com/Phil, you'll get the discount I had. Or you can
I'm uh,
find I think Chris Van Fleet has one or Fightful has one. There's other wrestling affiliated ones if you want to go
I'm
out
gonna
there
need you
and
to
find
send
it.
me that. I'm
Or
gonna
Cultaholic. I know Cultaholic has one too.
text me that link right now. Text me that right now as we speak. But yeah, man, this is massive. What are your thoughts on the WrestlePalooza of it all? I know there were reports that like First Wrestling, I think, owned the name, or currently
Or
does.
actually, I forgot. I can refer you. And then we both get deals.
Yes, I think that was a thing, and people were up in arms about that. I'm like, guys, WWE either like paid them outright to get the name, or they're leasing it from them or something. But like, let's calm down. Like with the whole look at what they're doing. I mean, yeah, like they bought ECW, but they weren't gonna keep up with all the IPs of all the ECW names because that's just not what happens. I mean, they let go of IPs all the time. That's how Santino got his name back. But yeah, the WrestlePalooza of it all. You excited?
I mean, so this is the show that is going to go head to head with All Out. So we'll see exactly what's going to be going on in terms of, what the show is. People are saying it's going to be the Brock Lesnar and John Cena match. We'll say we'll have to wait and see on that front. I mean, the WrestlePalooza, I have no nostalgic connection to it just because I'm too young. I didn't watch ECW. I understand like what it means and stuff like that, but just the name itself, it doesn't really do anything for me. I do appreciate them, switching names up and, not doing the full blown gimmick names. Like, good thing we're not getting like a Hell in a Cell or something like that. So,
Yeah.
WrestlePalooza is a perfectly fine standard wrestling pay per view name.
I wish they would do more of that because they have all these things like, can we get a Hardcore Heaven? Can we get a Greed pay per view? Can we get a Sold Out? Let's get that going. Sammy Callahan, the former Impact Heavyweight Champion, is retired from the Squared Circle. Sammy Callahan, always enjoyed his work, and I enjoyed his stuff when he was, I think, Solomon Crow in NXT in the early days of the Black and Gold, what we knew it to be on the network and stuff like that. Yeah, I've met Sammy Callahan once before. Swell guy, very very nice, class act. So thank you, sir, for all your years of service to our industry. Any thoughts on the career of Sammy Callahan?
Yeah, I mean, Sammy was a guy that I was never like the biggest fan of or like kind of like knew too much about, but he was like you said, he was on TNA, he was on NXT, never really had a fair shot, or at least never really got the opportunity to kind of be like maybe take that next step in his career, but he definitely had his own following that people really enjoyed his stuff, and um, you know, luckily he's able to kind of go out on his own terms, which not a lot of people can do. And hopefully, best of luck on your future endeavors.
Yes, come on now. Batista has been named the best wrestler turned actor. I think we all knew this. Batista has the most range out of all of them. Rock was made number two, and Big Match John, the franchise that never seen 17, was named number three. Correct order?
Yeah, I mean, you can also throw like kind of the old ones in there of Roddy Piper did some stuff, and honestly, like I think Roddy Piper, if he was in this era, maybe he could have been like a Batista, but we'll just
Could
never know.
have been the animal. HBK apparently is going to need double knee surgery. Kevin Nash talked about this on Click This on his podcast. How give an update about Sean's health and how he's going to needs his knees replaced.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, this is just kind of the way of the world with these older wrestlers, and Sean's he's been up there. He had his wrestling. He was a little smaller guy, so probably not exactly the best for his knees. We talked about Dustin Rhodes, I believe, last week, having to get something similar.
Yeah.
So, and Undertaker, I believe, had one not so recently as well. So, and Taz, I mean, we're getting a lot of these Attitude Era guys having these knee
Kurt
replacement
Angle,
surgeries.
he just had his like a year ago. Both of them replaced at the same time. I think he talked about that in the interview we did. Go check that out. Y2J back to WWE. The reports are going around. Jericho's contract ends later this year. Jericho liked a Instagram post about his possible return to WWE. I believe he said in the past he was close, but then the stuff happened with Vince, so he decided not to. And we know the problems that he had with Hunter, but you know that that's all in the past, man. What are your thoughts, man? Could we see Y2J? Could we see break the walls down one more time in WWE? You know me, I'm a Jericho guy, man. I love Chris Jericho. He's in my top. He's in my top five, and he ain't number five. You know what I'm saying?
So he's number three.
No, he's actually not. He's number two in the top five.
Okay. I mean, it's an interesting one. It seems as though maybe Chris Jericho's kind of like run his course in AEW. Has he kind of run his course in wrestling in general? Maybe, but it's been what, 6, 7, 8 years since he really had a run in WWE. Maybe that crowd will be a little more nostalgic for him, and he can kind of go back to the WWE type gimmicks he did. Obviously, a Hall of Fame ceremony, him headlining would make a ton of sense. So there's definitely opportunities for Chris Jericho. I just wonder what if he were to wrestle or be an on-screen character, what exactly he could do,
I
for the foreseeable future. I would assume it's going to be very limited because you cannot have Jericho, on there every single week because we saw what happened with AEW.
no, I mean I think because I saw somebody like he needs to just be with the established guys and like feud with like Rollins and Punk and Roman and Cody, which I mean all of those are great. Uh, they said I forgot where I heard this, but not to have Jericho like get in there with a younger guy because they'll be sucked into the Jericho vortex and whatever. I'm just like things could have been handled differently over on the AEW side, the WWE side. I don't know. I mean, we'll see, but yeah, just him running with some established guys. What are your thoughts?
Like I said, like I don't know exactly if there's a perfect recipe for Chris Jericho in WWE. Um, like a Drew McIntyre or something. He's an established guy, but we haven't really seen him do it. I mean, even like a Seth Rollins, like yeah, Seth. I mean, Seth was kind of like in the Shield when Jericho was kind of doing his own thing. So it maybe maybe something like that would work. Even like a Dominic Mysterio. Like I know people want to book double turns all the time, but like I think if you ever do want to pull the trigger, I think Jericho would be like the perfect foil for that. If Jericho goes in, and especially if Jericho is a little cold, if people aren't really reacting to him, you can put him in there with the Dominic, and maybe have Dominic, get the better reactions, than Jericho would turn heel or whatever the case may be.
There's so
Um,
much to do, and plus, like the chase for the 10th IC title. Like, I'd love to see him have a final WWE IC title run. I think that would be Mage. He kind of does the Flair, maybe does the Flair gimmick. Once I lose, I'm done, I'm gone, and then you build it, build it, build it. Maybe you can get to a Mania 42 or something. You just give him that just a year. He does the greatest hits. Maybe reinvents himself one more time. Maybe does the Le Champion gimmick. Uh, with the IC title, or maybe brings the Painmaker into WWE. I don't know, man.
I don't know. I mean, I think I don't know if it's a foregone conclusion, but signs are pointing to that. We don't know exactly when his deal is up. I mean, Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia, which I keep forgetting, is right around the corner.
I
And
mean, it'll be massive, bro. Break the walls down. It'll be massive.
I know in Jericho they'll probably have like some like big production or maybe like a teaser going into the Royal Rumble, or a teaser before he makes his entrance or something like that. Some little video package because he likes doing that type of stuff. But I mean, what's he now? He's like in his mid 50s. I mean, people age differently. Felt like Jericho was kind of like one age for a little bit, and then he was kind of like middle aged Jericho, and then he kind of like just hit that wall, and now he's like old Jericho now. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
he's 54, gonna be 55 November 9th. Um, I mean, and also he probably would get his revenge body and probably, be motivated to, maybe prove in a similar vein of like a Cody or a Punk of just like, maybe, especially with him seeing as this is his last chance. So, similar to Punk, he's going to try to prove the other company wrong or, prove the fans who are hating on him wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. I think like Jericho does one last run, like, hey, you're like, yeah, I did this and I did it so well. Let's get into fan mail. Mr. X, the Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer, Mr. X, who day?
Come on now. So with the rumors that WWE may try to buy TNA, plus rumors that they're trying to stop Warner from renewing AEW's next TV contract, I think it's obvious that WWE are trying to create a monopoly within professional wrestling. Sure, you can enjoy different wrestling companies, but it'll all be under our banner. Hmm. I just saw that didn't AEW get all their stuff removed from ESPN?
Yeah, I mean, I just pulled that up too when trying to look at what's on docket for the news, and I guess there is no more AEW related news on ESPN. I mean, it is what it is. I don't think a lot of people are going to ESPN for wrestling news or wrestling insight, but it is just, one of those minor little details that just kind of makes you roll your eyes at, especially, ESPN is supposed to be a journalistic outlet, but when you're in bed with the biggest company in the world, and AEW, let's be honest, probably is not pulling in too much traffic, they can probably just say, you know what, is it really worth the headache or whatever the political nightmare of AEW and WWE crossing paths? Probably not.
Not the political nightmare, not the American nightmare, but the political nightmare.
That's what he's going to be when he turns heel eventually.
Oh Jesus! But I don't even know how. But he has to change the song, right? He has to change the song. He goes back to Dash and Cody, the theme.
Exactly goes at the mustache.
Whoa, yeah, smoking mirror. Love it. I love it. I love it. Oh man, SmackDown, Sammy, Big Jim, and Jacob Fatu. We're gonna talk about Big Jim when we talk about Monday Night Raw. Hello. They're going to defeat the MFT with Sami Zayn pinning the United States champion.
Yeah, just pretty straightforward stuff. Clearly, they are going in with Sammy and Jake or Sammy and Solo. Officially, that Sammy has moved over to SmackDown, whatever brand split or whatever is going on at this point. Who really knows? You know, it is what it is. I
Keep it
guess.
simple, bro. Like Sammy went to SmackDown, LA Knights on Raw now. Boom.
Just a straightforward swap.
Yeah.
Maybe setting up some sort of War Games match just because, having Sammy, Jimmy, and Jacob just kind of hang around each other against another faction. Maybe that's what they're doing, but um, we'll just have to wait and see because we're 2 months, less than 2 months away from Survivor Series.
So we're going to Wall Games, San Diego.
I mean, it is a beautiful ballpark, but stadium shows. I've never been to a baseball show, but stadium shows, if you don't have the right seats, can be a hassle in terms of watching the actual action.
Get the right seats on.
Mhm. We got to see what's going on.
Come on now. Realistically, I mean that's probably the last chance to see Big Match John. I may have to go do that, or if not, Raw and SmackDown's coming out here in October.
3 months away. I can't count. November. It's
There you
3 months
go.
away. Yeah.
Hi, Drew. Drew McIntyre's promo talking about he didn't attack Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes attacked him. Talks about Cody needs to be WWE champion, basically to be liked, and Drew needs it to feed his family. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, another straightforward, solid promo from Drew. No Cody. He's been written off TV to do the Street Fighter thing, I would assume. Um, is this building towards WrestlePalooza in September? I would assume that's a little bit ways away, but maybe Cody does need to take a substantial amount of time off. So maybe, Drew's going to carry the load for a little bit. And with them being in Europe this week, I would assume it's going to be more the same of Drew. And maybe he, plays more, not face role, but just gets a little more cheered being in Europe. So, yeah.
I'm looking at the calendar. Let's say Cody's gone again next week. He returns on the September 5th SmackDown, and then you have 2 weeks to really build the match.
I mean, there you go. I feel as though Drew and Cody can be a little bit more, but also they haven't like done anything really to build up Drew to like make him feel like a credible threat. Is just kind of that's always tough that first challenger after champion wins because especially with a guy like Cody, you don't expect him to lose it right away. Like it's one thing with like Jey Uso where like it's a little bit of a not a fluke, but a little more of an underdog champion story. But with Cody, you feel as though he's going to be holding it for a decent amount of time. Unless they
Yep.
all want to swerve, bro. It's all about the shock value. As seen on WWE Unreal.
Come on now. Triple Mania was this weekend, bro. What'd you think?
It was a solid show. I'm not exactly the expert on AAA or Mexican wrestling, so I can't exactly compare it to other shows. Production wise, looked good. I didn't watch the early matches. I kind of watched like the later matches where a lot of the WWE wrestlers were on there, and the matches were fine. From what I saw, I thought the tag match was a good time with Los Garza's Psycho Clown and oh crap, I'm forgetting the other guy's name. Um, but yeah, the main event was interesting. Once again, Vikingo getting booed, and you know, it all kind of comes back to his match with Del Rio because I guess Del Rio kind of pulled a Hulk Hogan WrestleMania 18 where he got the crowd to cheer him even though he was the heel and so and Vikingo's also kind of seen as like the WWE chosen one, so a little bit of Roman Reigns thrown in there as well. But it was a fun. I mean, Grande Americano. I mean, the alleged Ludwig Kaiser, absolutely killing it down there in Mexico. He's even doing like promos and he's doing social media videos all in Spanish. It's a great time.
I
Chad
don't
Gable
know.
and never getting this gimmick back.
Uh, Chad Gable was never Grande Americano. I don't know what you're talking about. Neither is Ludwig Kaiser.
I
But
said
yeah,
I said alleged.
alleged, of course. But yeah, no, just great stuff, man. Just great work, bro. From all these guys. The Battle Royal, hilarious. Shout out Omos. Where my Almost Sapiens at? And then the Judgment Day match by far. I think they changed their song again, but this one fits and like they just all look like they belong, man. And bro, like AJ Styles showed up. Bro, AJ Styles, WrestleMania, Slammiversary, Triple Mania, all this year. I think he might. Yeah, man. I think like to appear or compete on, like I think it's like him. I think obviously Cody, with all those major ones, and then like Finn Balor, like when you throw in Wrestle Kingdom, like these guys have done everything. Amazing stuff. But the next WWE or AAA event is going to be Worlds Collide September 12th.
In Las Vegas.
Yep. Sin City.
Seems like a solid idea. I think for all these World Collide shows, you want to keep it somewhere on the West Coast slash South for some of the Mexican fans to travel up and see. So, I would assume maybe they run a Texas show later in the year or next year, something like that. So, LA first, then Vegas, and maybe move a little more out east to Texas.
I love it. I love it. RFK Jr. Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s niece had a WWE trial during SummerSlam weekend. Zoe Hines, a little political royalty about to hit WWE.
I guess I don't know. I don't really know too much about her in terms of her athletic background. WWE has been doing a pretty good job
With the
of
NIL.
at least turning the women's wrestlers or women athletes into wrestlers. I mean, Triple H talked about it on Unreal. That seems as though the women have gone to it a lot better than the men have for whatever reason.
Also, no, what were you
I was
saying?
gonna say just political stuff aside. Who cares? Well, I'm not gonna say who cares because I do care, but we're not gonna talk about that on this podcast.
Yeah. Who else did? Cappuccino Jones? Did we not talk about him winning the WWID championship?
Good for him, Cappuccino Jones.
Yes. Talk about Takeshita winning the G1. I gotta take this.
Yeah, so G1 Climax culminated last weekend. We had Takeshita defeating um, Evil in the finals, and similar to the um, rebellion that we saw in AAA with Vikingo, we kind of saw one as well with Takeshita, despite going up against the uber heel in Evil and with House of Torture BS going on, people still the Japanese crowd were still behind Evil. Not, I mean, it wasn't overwhelmingly so like Vikingo was, but we did see a split of some people wanting Takeshita, some people wanted Evil, and Takeshita was able to thwart everything off, ends up getting the win and wins the G1. So he will presumably face maybe Zack Sabre Jr. or whoever the champion will be
Yes, baby.
at Wrestle Kingdom. But we did see last year ZSJ did cash his G1 win in a little early, so maybe Takeshi will do that. I don't know. But we're it's not just a WWE thing. We also and it's not an American thing, as we've seen of fans kind of rejecting pushed acts or acts that are seen as outsiders in other companies. So interesting because as much as I say like, oh, I really want Takeshi to like get a run in New Japan because AEW's not treating him right, the Japanese fans are rejecting Takeshi a little bit here, and you have to kind of
Why?
just because he is not a New Japan guy, he's a DDT guy, he's an AEW guy, and
Not did it.
you see like the younger people like the Shota Umino's, Ren Narita's, all those other people who may have or should have gotten a shot at the top have not done that so far. And I mean, at this point, New Japan, I keep saying it, it's very repetitive, but they haven't proved me wrong yet of just not pushing and not having that next influx of that next generation of stars since the, you know, Nakamura's and Shinsuke, not the, Omegas, Okadas, and Jay Whites, and, Tanahashi's retiring next year. All those people, they are going out and they have not, replenished their talent pool yet.
A lot's happening over there, man. A lot is happening, man. Proceed with caution or somewhat. Naomi's pregnant, y'all.
Yeah, wasn't much of a shocker when they just randomly announced that her and Jimmy Uso were going to be on the Stephanie McMahon podcast. No shot to them, but just an odd timing of that announcement. We all kind of knew what was going to happen after that.
Well, no, they were on what like last week, and then they were on again right after Monday Night Raw. Oh yeah, man. So Naomi has announced that she is pregnant. The women's world champion had to vacate her title. She had to vacate it once before back in 2017 due to undisclosed reasons. We still don't know, but then she went on to win it back at that year's Mania. She said, "I ain't giving you shit." I was like, "Okay, you say that, yeah." She laid the title down on the gym part of the Slim Jim logo. Thought it was a nice touch. But yeah, man, congratulations to them, man. I mean, Naomi's been in this game for a minute, man. She's done so much. I remember like watching Total Divas and them like talking about wanting to like have a child and start a family. I mean they do have a family, but like you know what I'm saying. Just congratulations to them. Shout out to Naomi. I'm bummed because man, this was about to be the run. This was about to be that run for her, and we're just gonna have to put it on hold. We're gonna have to proceed with caution with the run for right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's good for her. Obviously, as you talked about, she has been wanting this for quite some time, and with her being 37 years old, no reason to risk anything, physically wise, to keep the baby healthy and to put her career on hold, which, as you said, does kind of suck because she was kind of hitting her stride, and this was probably her, I mean, definitely her best WWE run, best work she's done in her career, arguably. So, congrats to her and Jimmy. Unfortunately, just how it works is Naomi's going to be gone for a year probably, while Jimmy will still be on SmackDown doing his thing. But yeah, it was
Shout out Big Jim, man.
yeah, and I thought they did a good job of kind of blurring the lines, or not blurring the lines, but walking the line of Trinity and the current character of Naomi in the same segment of her talking about how her hormones are jumping around like a disco. So I thought they they did it well, as much as you can kind of break kayfabe, but then also kind of reel it back in. So I thought they did a good job with that segment.
You love to see it. You love to see it. The bloodline continues.
Yep, and we got a OTC chant and a Baby Uso chant. So
Yeah, they put out a video of Roman, reacting to it, and then just everybody hugging him and dapping him up. You love to see it, man. Congrats to Jimmy and Naomi. I'm very happy for them. And
Baby Uso got more chance than Karrion Kross did, but apparently everyone wants him back.
Roman Reigns returned again with the Air Reigns. Did you see the Air Reigns? Roman saying he ain't stealing these. So it's extreme. They're in Philly. They're in Philly, the land of extreme. They're in a. We're gonna do Jey Uso with the New Jack tribute. Love to see it. Extreme Rules match with Braun Breaker. They're doing all this stuff. Seth Rollins comes out there. LA Knight comes out there. Bronson Reed. CM Punk. All this is going down. Then the OTC one, the head of the table, my tribal chief, my forever tribal chief, comes out there and he's laying waste and he's getting on Bronson. And Jay gets the big win, all this stuff. And we get it. It's been made official. They announced it earlier today. Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed one-on-one at Clash in Paris. This is Roman Reigns' first singles match since WrestleMania 40.
Yep. First, and no disrespect.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. His first singles PLE match since WrestleMania 40. Last singles match was January 6th with Solo Sikoa.
Yeah, no disrespect to Bronson, but kind of talking back to what I was talking about at SummerSlam, it's like, you only have so many matches with Roman on the cards, and you using it here. So hopefully they can make it work, and they've done a good job, I think, at building up Bronson Reed as a formidable opponent for
He's a tribal thief.
Roman. Yeah, and they're doing the shoe gimmick, so it makes people want to see Roman beat him up. So they're doing a good job there. My thing is, I still wish you could make Roman matches bigger, because you're not going to get them all that often. But
we're gonna get there. I mean, you heard Roman, man. I don't fight for shoes. I fight for championships, son. Look, bro, we gonna get there. I'm calling it. WrestleMania 42, Las Vegas, the OTC one versus the QB one for the undisputed WWE Championship. I'm calling it right now.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But another Raw main event that, yes, technically had a finish because it was no DQs and it was Extreme Rules. But we had a lot of schmoz and a lot of stuff going on to where, the actual finish of the match, I don't think people are going to remember all too often. It's more just like you get to the angle and the crowd cheers because they're getting angles in front of them, and you're going to get the return of Roman Reigns, so that's going to get a big pop. So, not as big of a deal or not as bad as they've done in weeks past, where it was just a complete farce and they just throw the match out because clearly, we have the Vision interference, but. It is what it is right now. But the Vision itself, to be honest, still not really impressed with what they're doing. But I do feel as though they have like a plan in place of like where they're going with this. But I just feel like it's kind of very repetitive, and like the group as a whole doesn't really feel like they're fitting all that well together.
We gotta see. Maybe the Vision needs the tag titles.
Maybe Becky Lynch gets involved, but then I feel that'd be a little too on the nose. But we'll see.
I mean, Becky Lynch retained her Intercontinental Championship against Natty, working the arm. Shout out Natty, won the Lou Thez Award at the Cauliflower Alley Club, was over there in a sling. Becky said she wanted Natty to show up, like Natty's gimmick on the indies, and then Natty told her, like, you can't fucking tell me what to do. So get to the match. Becky goes over, and you can look, but you can't touch. And Boston Green, or no, they were in Philly. What am I talking about? But it was a Boston Green.
Eagle Green.
Eagle Green. There we go.
The Bella Twins are Eagles fans for whatever reason.
I mean, why wouldn't you be? WrestleMania 40 is one of the greatest WrestleManias. I mean, why wouldn't you be? Yeah, Nikki comes out the Rack Attack 2.0. So give us Nikki and Becky in Paris. Give me that.
I mean, that seems like the straightforward match. I don't know what the how many matches have been advertised so far, because I like to keep to like 4 or 5.
Oh, it's Roman, the 4-way. Obviously,
we don't know what they're doing with the women's title with Stephanie Vicaire.
Yeah, we don't know what's happening with that. So Roman, the 4-way, Donnybrook, Rusev, and Sheamus. What is that? Is that all that's been announced?
The John Cena Logan Paul match.
Okay, so 4. There's 4 matches. So yeah, maybe that'd be the 5th one.
We'll see. We shall see. Sticking to the women's division, Bayley continues to hear voices in her head, and we can hear those voices in her head, apparently.
I mean, like the telepathy is all that.
I am intrigued where the Bayley character goes.
Yes.
That being said, I just do not like the overproduction of the voices, and like, how are we supposed to be able to hear her? And
do the voices lead Bayley to championship gold? That's the question.
Maybe. And there's you can do like the exact same thing of just Bailey talking about how she has an identity crisis. Like she wasn't successful, but when she was, Hugger Bailey and Ding Dong Bailey, she was a champion. So she's, was able to, she can go back to, should I go back to those? Should I not go back to those? Blah,
I
blah, blah.
mean, even when she had like the Karen haircut, she was champion. She had
I,
two titles.
I know, but just whatever the story they're trying to, I don't know what the story they're trying to tell is that she's, you know, bipolar or
Oh, hey,
has
well,
split
hey, brother,
personality
hey.
disorder. I don't know what they're going with, but obviously they're going with some sort of like mental thing here. Um, they're pro.
Hey.
I'm scared they're gonna do like a Three Faces of Bailey situation because we did because the very
She's her
last thing
current
we
self. She's the hugger, then the Karen haircut, Bailey.
yeah because we heard the do you want to hug or whatever was like the last thing they said. It was like, oh god, are they gonna really like have her put the ponytail on sideways and start hugging people?
There ain't no stopping us now. If they bring back the Bailey buddies or the wacky with inflatable arm flailing two man, they need to have bandages on them because remember she cut them up, so they need to have bandages on them like they were put back together. I think that would be a great touch. That's just me though. Penta defeats Xavier Wood.
Good match.
That's all. That's all we have for it.
Yeah,
We
the
can
new
we can just move right on. Judgment Day defeated Mr. Iguana and Dragon Lee.
Mr. Iguana, people still love him because he walked around with the puppet. I think,
Demonito. What about Demonito?
yeah, and you can buy your own Demonito for however much they're selling on WWE Shop.
$100.
Uh, Jesus Christ. Dragon Lee, I continue will say he should be getting a lot more than what he's getting, but I think the bloom is off that rose at this point.
Oh, come on now. AEW happened. Tell us what happened. Jet
Ye-
Speed.
Yep, we are in Scotland since we have Forbidden Door on the horizon this weekend. Tanahashi and Jet Speed defeated the Death Riders. Will Ospreay did have a promo before that, just kind of talking about his neck, and he guess he's gonna, ride it until the wheels fall off. Which I don't know if that's the best thing to do, but
Pause.
that's his neck, I guess. So that built in the cage. We still don't know exactly what the cage is going to be because it's 10 people in a cage match. It hasn't been advertised as a War Games or anything, so I don't know how they're going to fit all those people in there, but whatever. Copeland and Christian had a promo together. Christian basically said he's not changing, so we're still going to get Turtleneck, Your Dad's Dead, Christian. Then Nick Wayne cut a promo from his little barn area saying that he broke his foot and he can't wrestle. So we got the return of Luchasaurus.
No
So
switch.
sorry, Kill Switch. Good to see that he is back and healthy after the health scare he had a few months ago or last year, whenever exactly
Oh
that
wait,
was.
what?
He had like a really bad case of like pneumonia or something, and he was like alone in his house, and he like could have died if someone didn't save him.
Jesus
So that's
Christ.
why he was gone for so long. But so now we're getting the upgraded, or not upgraded, but different match of Luchasaurus and Kip Sabian taking on Christian and Copeland. We had the finals of the tag team tournament with a stellar match between Brodito and FTR. Unfortunately, it did go to a draw, and
Who is Bro Dito?
that is Bandito and Brody King. I know. Original naming. But so since it was a draw, both of those teams will take on the Hurt Syndicate at Forbidden Door for the tag team championship. And then
Maxwell.
one of the dumbest things we've seen in, I mean, I don't want to say quite some time because AEW kind of does these things a lot, unfortunately. MJF threatened to burn Mark Briscoe in order to get different things out of Hangman Page, saying that the match will be the title can change hands on a disqualification or a count out, as well as MJF's little Money in the Bank contract thing will still be in effect after this match. So, under duress, threatening to murder somebody on national worldwide television. Why not? Just a continuation of dumb things that AEW does that take you out of the realm of possibility, and you could have done the exact same thing, but just have him like threaten him with a chair or break his leg or his arm or something. Even his neck. If you want to go that far, that's still a little bit too much, but I think burning somebody is a little bit far-fetched, but that's just what
I mean,
AEW
bro, do
likes
you
to do,
remember
I guess.
when Mickey James got killed on TNA?
And
It was like 10 years ago.
just because TNA did it does not mean it was right.
Hell, Vince died.
And then some, well, anyways. Then we got, so we do have Forbidden Door. Currently, we have 9 matches on the card, so it's probably gonna be another long one from AEW. And despite it being Forbidden Door, there doesn't seem to be a lot of Forbidden Door aspects on this one. This basically just seems like a AEW pay-per-view that just happens to have some New Japan people on there. We got the lights out cage match, like I said. Death Riders up against the baby faces. I don't know which way they go. They can go either which way in on this one. Maybe just have the faces beat the heels, like Claudio's in there. The Young Bucks are in there. They could probably take the pinfall if that's how the match goes. Hurt Syndicate, as I said, taking on Brodito and FTR. It's a tag team elimination match, so we got to have 2 pinfalls here. Maybe pull the trigger with Brodito because I think they were doing stuff, but I would assume they do with the Hurt Syndicate. Okada and Swerve for the unified title. This match should be really good. I would assume they're still gonna run with Okada. Women's match, AEW title, Timeless Toni Storm and Athena. I would say that Toni Storm wins that, unfortunately, and the underrated Athena just goes back to ROH. Then we had the 4-way TBS title match, Mercedes Moné, Alex Windsor. I know how to say that name. Persephone nailed it, and Bozilla. That one too. I'm just gonna say Monet wins. TNT title match: Hiromu Takahashi taking on Kyle Fletcher. Another match that should be really good, but I think Fletcher just wins. And after Takeshita just had a grueling set of matches to get the G1 finals and have a shot at the IWGP title, Nigel McGuinness had to win one single 4-way, and he has a match against Zack Sabre Jr. on Forbidden Door. I would assume Zack Sabre Jr. wins that one. Singles title match. I don't know why this. Anyways, Paige and MJF. I think Paige just wins again. Maybe by hook or by crook. I don't know. And then tag match. I don't know why this is the last one on the Wikipedia. Copeland and Cage taking on Kip Sabian and Kill Switch. I think just Kip Sabian takes the pinfall from either Cope or Christian Cage. So there you go, Philip. How are you feeling about Forbidden Door, even though you did not even know Forbidden Door was this weekend?
It's a lot going on.
Yep.
There's a lot happening. That is a lot going down. I'm sorry. I don't know how I feel about that.
And it's all it's on the UK too. So over here in the West Coast, it's gonna be at 10 o'clock in the morning. So we got back-to-back European shows.
Oh yeah. I don't know. VPN, can they get me AEW pay-per-views?
Well, a VPN get you discounted AEW pay-per-views for $25, not 50.
I'll wait till the plug posted. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this weekend, Wrestling for Charity, Hayward, California. Wrestling is back in the stack. Myself, the Haystack Hitter, live in attendance, or what? Live and direct, or what's the saying? Live and in living color. There you go. Boom. There
Bam.
it is. There it is. You love to see it. Wrestling for Charity this Sunday, Hayward Veterans Hall. Pull up, man. Your favorite, like Chupacabra will be there, Astronauts, the Gator Boys, so much more. You don't want to miss it. Thank you guys so much. We'll be back next week to hype up Clash in Paris. I'm free on Sunday of next week, Brandon, mate. I mean, next week is, I don't know, Brandon, I don't even know this. Next week is Big Toko's Kickback.
That's what I've heard. I've heard things.
And did you see the video of the Melanin Mafia attacking Elliot Ray?
How dare they?
I mean, apparently they've discarded of Maney and Zoe as well. So, I mean, I've seen the match graphic. DJ Fresh is the only person on his team.
Well, he's better find some friends quickly. That's next week.
It is next week. He better find some friends. I mean, these dastardly human beings, man. They didn't record themselves attacking the other two, but I guess not all acts of violence need to be recorded. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much. We'll be back next week. Clash in Paris recap possibly on Sunday. Be safe and stay dangerous.